Welcome to CPG Vibes. No script, just chat. We talk all things food and beverage and so much more. Feel our vibe and search for CPG Vibes on Apple Podcast or Spotify, and make sure to give us a 5-star review. If you'd like to sponsor our show with your product or service or be a guest, email us at cpgvibes100@gmail.com. Now your hosts, me, Alex Bear with Genius Juice, and Wade Yenny. All right, so we are live at Expo West 2024 in the beautiful Anaheim, California, Anaheim Convention Center. Second floor, booth 2223. Special sponsors, ilevelbrands, for having us at their booth right here. And as you can see, the show is going on behind us. Wade,
how are you
doing, buddy?
How are you? When's the last time we did one of these live? Last year, right? Was it last year?
About a year ago.
Well, we do everyone live, but
yeah.
live
in person.
Yeah. It's been pretty crazy. Thank you, iLevel, David Abraham, for giving us the space
Wherever he is right now.
Yeah, and so we've got all these fancy contraptions here that we don't normally have, and we also don't have visibility to our comments and all the stuff that we normally do. So this is going to be a little different than the normal format. We'll be talking and not being able to read much unless Alex can work some magic up here, and I don't know that he can.
Pretty much, that would be a no-go. My multitasking skills went out the window about 5 or 10 years ago. So yeah, this is a really interesting episode because this is coming in on a Thursday, right in the middle of Expo West, North Hall, and we're going to be just bringing on guests that we find literally, because we can see in the background, got people coming in. There's a comment right there from David Delcourt. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Makes it a lot easier for us to see. That's Robert Kogan over there. And so, yeah, we do have some comments coming in. We're going to shout you out. So first comment is going to be David, which has not come in yet, which is interesting. So we'll figure that out.
I think that was a comment on the event.
Oh, the event.
The event.
Okay.
Yeah, that was an early comment.
So as far as booths go, what have you seen that's really stood out to you thus far?
That's a lot. I've been. I said if COVID's a thing, we all have it. This is just, especially yesterday. It was just because they herd everybody into just the 2 rooms or 2 halls that you can do. It was pretty crazy. I tried some, and I have to look to see if I have a picture of the brand, but it was and I think I told you about this yesterday. A smoked salmon, almost like a Lunchable type thing, and it was phenomenal. And they also had a salmon spread, which I know neither one of those is good for you because you're not a pescatarian, you're a vegetarian.
But I respect it.
Yes,
I respect it.
Yeah. But it was very tasty. Aside from that, some of my favorites, normal guys. And I'm sure we're gonna bring some up during the show and talk a little bit about them. But I don't know. How about you? I've not been able to between getting stopped, meetings, and the overall volume of people, I've not been able to spend as much time looking as I would like. It's been pretty crazy.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I've been stopped pretty much between the Genius stuff, between consulting, and especially this show. I mean, overwhelmed with all the love and support from everyone in our community that has come in here and just said, hey, I know you. Hey, I love your show. And also people giving us 5 stars literally on the floor from their phone.
Love it.
So the outpouring of support has been amazing for both me and Wade. So amazing that even when we want to go to the bathroom, it takes about 35 or 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Just to get there.
Yeah. And, we didn't have to hire security detail, but it was a little challenging. But I know I was stopped in the elevator on the way down first thing this morning. I was stopped, not stopped, but somebody was going down the escalator. And I was going up the escalator and someone was high-fiving me. So, yeah, it's been really cool to have that support. It's been awesome.
Right on. So I want to talk about, before we bring on just our guest from Chickpea, and that's a chickpea yogurt. So we're going to bring her on. What's her full name?
We're going to find out shortly.
We're going to find out shortly.
I was going to say, yeah.
But so with all that,
I think it's he too, by the way. I think we're bringing him on.
To him.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I couldn't have got that more wrong.
Yes.
You're
off a little bit.
Yeah, that's a little bit off. I need to get some mushroom elixirs in me like this one. So just to shout out some different products that we're seeing on the floor here. This is given to us by our buddy Robert Kogan.
Yep.
And these mics are interesting. These are new mics where you have to be right in front of it or else you will not hear us. But it comes through pretty clear. I like this upgrade. I like it. Melting Forest Mushroom Energy. So that's one. Also, I saw this on the way back from the bathroom.
Yes,
right.
I saw that too.
I wanted to reload. Beekeeper Coffee. So this is interesting. Make it happen. Make it delicious. This is the mocha flavor. 2% milk, coffee, chocolate powder, acacia gum, 1 preservative. That's really good. I got to give a shout out, though. It's my buddies at Mela. And the Mela booth, also just for those that do not know, because I think they relocated, but the Mela booth, and we're just have a different.
There it is. N2134.
N2134. There's Bloom 2593, Ride Energy 1552 downstairs. We're just shouting out a few. And you can go to the app, the natural products.
Did you say Ride Energy? That's my drink for the show.
Ching-ching.
Yes. It's a little different than what we did last year. We did the happy hour last year, and this is more easier to do this, right?
It's much easier. Last year you were, making pina coladas, and Bilal was hitting you over the head with a chair like WWE. So it was harder to concentrate. This one's more of a established show, which is great.
Definitely.
So, but Mela, big shout out to them. I have the original here, and also I'm scared to open it on this platform because we have all this equipment over here, and this one is the ginger. So I'll crack this one open, right? Let me put all these down. I just got to be careful.
Crack it down here and
like something. But
something's gonna get knocked over.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen.
Shit happens at
it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Yeah. So I've been talking a lot about people who want to work with Wade. Hashtag. Alex, you talked about the podcast or the 5 stars. So we hit that already. We didn't talk about we talked about iLevel and them letting us use the booth. We have not talked about V-Driven, our ongoing sponsor. So shout out Luke. And I've not seen Luke yet, but I'm sure he's here somewhere.
He's here somewhere. He's here somewhere. He's lurking. He's around.
Yes.
And he biked here.
RV, electric bike.
Electric bike. He's working out to get here. So that's our major sponsor, and we're super proud of them and super grateful to have them. So, and again, if you want to be a sponsor, right, CPG Vibes 100, we can't do any of the fancy bubbles on the bottom of the words, but cpgvibes100@gmail.com.
Right.
The beauty of the show also being live is that we can bring on guests whenever the hell we want.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? We do have one guest that's been waiting
patiently
from Chickpea. Chickpea in the house?
Chickpea. They're here somewhere.
Come on in. So we'll put that one down.
Yep.
How you doing, sir? So you're Noam, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to put that on the table right here.
Noam Sharon with Chickpea Foods.
And we're going to make sure that we'll stack them.
Is that right? It's Noam Sharon?
Noam Sharon.
Okay.
So go like this. We're going to stack these up so that we can see it. You're going to sit down. You're going to take these headphones. Sit down right here. Watch the wires. And here you go. We'll put those on. Nice to meet you, sir. Alex. So let's put the mic on you. All right, here we go.
Okay. Thank you.
Close to the mic. And Wade's going to ask you some questions.
Yeah. First of all, how are you?
Thank you. I'm good. Thank you for having me on this show. You know, your show is like the 60 Minutes of CPG, so it's a real honor. It's a milestone. For
I guess that makes you what's his name?
Exactly.
Andy. Alex, that makes you Andy. What's his name? The 60 Minutes guy. Who is that? Yeah. Yeah. Oh well. Anyhow, so do you have a booth at the show?
Yeah, we have a booth at the hot product section.
Okay. What's your booth number?
1639.
1639. Great. Okay, so if you're listening here or at the show, you want to see Chickpea 1639. So tell us about the product.
So the product is a yogurt made of chickpea protein. It's the first yogurt made of chickpeas coming to the market. We started developing about 3-4 years ago. We've been some time in development, and we launched to Whole Foods in January 23.
Was that a national launch, or where did you launch in Whole Foods?
We launched at all Northeast region with Whole Foods. We've been doing well with Whole Foods and started opening new doors, both on the Northeast and here on the West Coast.
Excellent. So, what's your how many flavors you have?
Initially, we had 4 flavors: plain, strawberry, blueberry, and vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
And just recently, we added the mango. That is going to come to store in a month or 2.
So from a flavor ranking, what is your best seller?
The bestseller used to be strawberry.
Mhm.
Now it's the plain. People really love the
Is
plain.
that right? That's
Yeah.
interesting. I would have guessed vanilla. I would have guessed, but very interesting. Alex, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'm plant based, right? So I'm a vegetarian. This is definitely something very disruptive and different. I wanted to ask because you used, the chickpea base. So chickpea as a yogurt, like where did you get that idea, and how does it work using chickpeas as a fermented yogurt?
Yeah. So initially, I started off as a securities and corporate and securities lawyer. I've done that for 25 years, and it started repeating itself. I looked for something new, and I came across this new ingredient that no one knew about. It's the chickpea protein isolate. And I met the company that makes the protein, and I started playing with it. Came across my co-founder, who is a chef, and my third co-founder is a food scientist. And we understood that you can do with the chickpea protein things you just can't do with the other backbone ingredients, because it gives a strong backbone to the product in the form of 5 to 6 grams of protein with a very mild natural taste. And we just like went crazy with the things you can do with it. It's so versatile. It's so collaborative with what you want to do with it. We did milk, yogurt, cream cheese, puddings. Very versatile and very um, effective in its protein content.
Great, great. So you mentioned Whole Foods, and where else? Where else are you distributing the product
On the
currently?
Northeast, we also at ShopRite, Fairways, and just recently we joined the Mother's Market and Kitchen here in LA and South California. Wild at Nature in the Pacific Northwest, and the United Market in the Southwest.
That's excellent, excellent. And so primarily distributed through UNFI, KHE.
Unify K, and in the Northeast, we closely collaborate with a more local distributor who's a great partner.
Gotcha, gotcha. Excellent, excellent.
So I'm curious because a couple minutes left here. Your background, right? And by the way, for this show, we only had 2 mic ports, so me and Wade are close and personal using this mic together. You got your own dedicated mic. You don't want to share a mic with us. It would be too awkward for you. But with this product and actually creating it, beyond all that, where are you from? Because you have an accent. What's your origination? When did you cut? Were you born in the States? Were you born outside the United States? Tell us more about you.
Well, initially I didn't have much of a link to the U.S. except visiting as a tourist. I was born and raised in Israel. I'm still Israel-based, and as I told, I was a corporate lawyer. I've done that for 25 years. I took company into the stock exchange, out of the stock exchange, bought them, sold them, merged them, you name it. And at some point, I started feeling that I was bored, and I was repeating myself. So I looked for something crazier and cooler to do. And I must honestly, at the first, I didn't understand how crazy was the idea of getting into the food space, creating a product, creating a brand, and launching it in the US. Well, if I had known in advance, I don't even want to think.
So Noam, what would you say now that you've had this experience and you've learned some things obviously? What's your biggest learning thing? What one thing would you say I didn't know this but now I know, or I would do differently, something like that?
Uh, what I knew from my past life, so to speak, was that team was everything. Like, and this experience repeats itself in this space. People are everything. The team is everything. And another thing that I learned from investors that I was pitching to, both that came in and that didn't come in, is that what they're looking at when they see a team, when they see a founder, is grit. They look for grit. And for the last 4 or 5 years, I've been working on my grit.
I got to say, before you go, I relate to you a ton.
Thank you.
When you're talking about it, when you're sharing about it, the emotions behind it. Since I've been a founder for 11 years. With Genius Juice, and now I'm more transitioning more to crowdfunding consulting and helping brands raise money. So if you need money, let me know. Everyone needs money, right? And but the grit is, that's so important, where investors know how hard you're working. You live and breathe it every day. At night, it's the last thing you think about. It in the morning when you wake up, it's the first thing you think about. And then not knowing what it is until you're in it. We don't know what we don't know, and then you learn it as you go. But it seems like you're picking it up quickly. I like the packaging. I like the distribution. I also love that you're going local and you're not trying to go too big too fast. These are all smart, strategic decisions. So, and you're part of the tribe. So I'm Jewish too. I've been wanting to go to Israel, so I need to try. I think this is a reminder for me to travel there.
Always welcome.
Oh, I would love to go there. I've never been there. But Noam, thank you for joining us. If people want to buy this product, I know it's in the stores. Can they buy it online, or is it only in stores?
We are online with Amazon Fresh in the places where we distribute on retail. Okay. So where you can get it online, you can also go to the store and get it.
Excellent. Noam, nice meeting you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for
appreciate you. Yes. All right, who's next, Alex? I can't really see.
Oh yeah, you can leave these here. Yeah, we might dig into them. Make sure not to take the headphones away.
Thank you.
That'd be funny. There's dragon on the show floor. Thank you, Noam. All right. So that worked out. That worked out pretty well.
Yeah. And I think you've got somebody else behind. I can't quite see who it is, but I know we have people on the side. We've got people all around us. We got people waving at us.
Wait a minute. Luke sighting. Luke Abbott, V-driven. All right. Sit on down. So do we have Dhruv? And he is. And sorry, your last name.
Bias.
Actually, put on your headphones first, so you're plugged in and wired in. Make sure that you're talking right into the mic, like you're eating the mic. It's a burrito.
All right, how's this?
Yeah, just no tongue, okay? No tongue.
I'll try my best.
Yeah, we might need to say. Anyway, I need to sanitize the mic. A lot of spit coming out. I'm just kidding. All right. So last name?
Bias. I'm Dhruv Bias.
Dhruv Bias. So he is the co-founder of Raja.
Here, let me pull out a can.
And we need to try this. I've already had it. This product's amazing.
All right, I look forward to it. No pressure here, Dhruv.
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
you guys are
chai
gonna
latte.
love it.
Oh,
you guys
goodness.
Are
Okay.
love it.
We might need to have our own bathroom up here for this.
I think so. Yeah, this could get heavy pretty quick.
Especially after an hour and a half.
Yeah. So we're gonna try. I'm gonna have Wade's trying it first. This is the Raja Chai Latte. And by the way, his business partner is Rahul Batra.
Rahul yeah.
And he's right over there. That's him right over here. There he is. So he's in the background.
Very nice. Very refreshing. Good chai flavor. I like it a lot. It's very good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've already had this. I met up with Rahul a few months ago, and the product is absolutely fucking fantastic.
Thank you.
And I like the branding. I like the simplicity. I like the red. So I'm going to pretend like I don't know. Tell us the meaning behind. I think we actually brought Rahul on the show. But let's pretend we don't know.
Okay.
Let's start over the origin story. Raja, what does it mean, and how'd you come up with the name?
Well, there's two sides to it. There's two sides to there's a side to the name and there's a side to how we came together. I'll start with how we came together. Well, Rahul is experienced in the beverage industry. I grew up in India. Rahul grew up here in California. He grew up in the East Bay in Northern California. And I've always had a passion for good coffee, good tea. And I grew up drinking chai on the street every day before school, every day after school. And so once I graduated college, I was on to figuring out how to get my mobile van going. Like I wanted to make fresh chai on the streets and sell it fresh. And one fine day, like Rahul had quit his job and he comes to me and he's like, "Hey, I've been thinking about getting into chai. What do you think?" He had no clue about what I was into. And it was just a beautiful coincidence. And we just started working together right from that moment. And then Raja comes from, there's so many layers to it, but essentially Raja means king. In Hindi, in a bunch of other East Asian languages, it means king. I think Indonesian too. And yeah, it's the point. The whole idea behind it is that everyone's a king, and you and I are kings. Yeah,
Excellent,
yeah,
excellent.
it's
So,
simple. It's simple.
how long have you been? Has Raja been in business?
We are pre-launch. We've
Pre-launch.
been formulating, trying to perfect this chai for the past 10 months now, and it's been a journey. It's been quite a journey, but you know, we have standards when it comes to the quality and taste, and there's no way we are letting those drop. And that's what's taken us so long. And I think Rahul and I are both very proud of what we've put together.
So where are you at in the process? When will we see it in stores, or do you have like a goal, or what what are your next steps?
So ideally, we figure out where we have some hiccups or like just a little steps left to figure out on the sourcing side. Um, in fact, we had a great conversation today with the members at Forager, because we use their oat milk, and they were great, super helpful, and we're gonna figure things out going forward. And ideally, end of April, we're gonna be in stores in San Francisco. We're gonna be at independent natural
Excellent.
grocers.
Excellent. So do you have a price point that you're trying to achieve?
The end goal is $4.99 to $5.99, somewhere
Okay.
in between there.
Okay.
Yeah,
And in looking at the product, it looks like it does need to stay refrigerated.
it does.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Any challenges that you've experienced with that as far as the process?
The biggest challenge was accepting the fact that we may have to stay refrigerated. Like that might be the biggest challenge, because in the start it was all, how are we going to make the shelf stable? We're going to have to add gums. We're going to have to add all this crap to our chai that is not natural. Um, and we bit the bullet and said, hey, we're just going to stay refrigerated because that's what it means to have a quality product.
Right.
And we're okay with it. We're owning it. And whatever challenges come our way, we're going to deal with them. But we're proud to say we're a refrigerated product and we have a clean label.
Excellent. So, and I've got two more questions. I know Alex probably has some. I'm guessing, maybe
Mhm.
not. Dating on the product. Dating. How? What's your shelf life?
The shelf life is about 5.5 months refrigerated.
Okay.
Yeah,
Got it. Got it. So, I'm assuming this is your first expo.
it is.
Okay, so what are your objectives here? Being where you're at in the process, what are you trying to accomplish here at Expo West? And have you accomplished that already, or will you accomplish it before you leave?
Well, the biggest mission we were on was to come and just meet our forager. Honestly, like, I'm gonna be fully open and honest here. Like, we have been using their product to formulate our chai, and hoping to get a chance to partner with them,
Right.
and they loved our product and they're willing to help. And it just sounds like it's going to be an amazing few weeks going forward. So that's the oat milk side.
Excellent.
And then on top of that, like, Rahul and I have been spending so much time kind of in hiding behind the scenes, working on formulation and our packaging and whatnot, and not really been out in the beverage founder or food and bev founder space and really connected with people. And that's what we're here to do too.
Awesome. Awesome.
And it's going great.
My only question is, let's make this can twice as big, because I already
Downed it. I can give
already
you another
down
one.
this
Here, let me get you
entire another. We really have to have a porta potty here if I'm gonna keep drinking these
There you
things.
go. There you go.
This is for the first half of the show. This is for the second half of the show. No, I mean, we need a recycle bin here too, right? I'm
Yeah.
just gonna put on the ground. We just have this. We have all these bottles and Danos and Lemon Perfect and things and Riot just collecting over there to next to Wade's right foot.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, as you know, I'm a big fan of the product. I like how also you're being very open and honest about the sourcing of it, how clean it is. I mean, we didn't really even say what's in it yet,
Mhm.
but I'm going to say it: organic oat milk, which is water, organic oats, and sea salt. Assam black tea, which is just water and tea leaves. Organic raw cane sugar, cardamom, clove, cinnamon, fennel, nutmeg, ginger, black pepper, microphone drop.
Yep.
That is it.
That's it.
And that's why it's refrigerated, no preservatives. I think eventually at some point with a large enough co-packer,
Mhm.
you can maintain the quality and the taste and eventually make it shelf stable
Potentially.
at some
Yeah,
point.
Absolutely.
That's going to take a while, to get to that volume. But I love that you're starting local. I love that it's all regional. And then also the category, there's a lot of coffees. There's a lot of teas. I've
Mhm.
never had quite something like this with this type of taste profile. Are you the first of its kind? Are there other brands that have done this before in this fashion, or what happened?
We are basically first of its kind. Like out in San Francisco on the shelves in the Bay Area, we do have another local couple brands that sell chai lattes.
Mhm.
And you know, I honestly we're a new category, and like the more brands, the better. At this stage, I see it as us bringing the category forward. And in the future, I almost picture just a handful of chai brands on the shelves.
Yeah.
Just like coffee evolved.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we talked about, it's just knowing you guys, other innovations, whatever you want to share or not share beyond just because right now you're doing a single SKU.
Correct.
But I know there's some great things to come. And I love that, I didn't know this until they told me, but Forager launched a brand new oat milk
Yes.
that has water, oats, and sea salt, organic. I bought it.
Yep.
Literally the day that you told me about it, I went to Whole Foods and it was like, boop, just popped on the shelf. It's
Yep.
like a little bullet bottle.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been putting that in my mud water. My wife puts it in her coffee.
Yep.
And I can see why you want to go with them because there's no oils in
No
it.
oils.
It's super, super clean. So, coming here, and with that grit and meeting with the owners of Forager, I'm sure you're going to get that deal closed, and they're going to, just continue to supply you for years to come as you grow your business. So, did you meet with them yet?
We did meet with them.
Can you tell us anything about how it went?
Sure. I mean, they were just, again, to be open and honest, sourcing packaged oat milk from another brand, economic viability of that is questionable. And so whether we move forward with using their direct oat milk or we get help from them to find the next best option, either way, we've got help. They believe in us and they're willing to help. We're based in the same city, and so we just have to see what's next at this point.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Drew, thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
so much. Thank you.
Great
so
to
much.
see you.
Appreciate it.
Great
Yes.
product. Best of luck to you.
Yes. Thank you. Wade.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
And a big congratulations. Okay, we have, I know Luke Abbott stopped by. David Delcourt is here. We have Allison, who I'm meeting for the first time in person. If you want to, so I think we have a couple people in line, but whoever wants to come in next. Okay, so we're to get, maybe Allison first. Yeah, let's do Allison, and then we're gonna do Allison, and then
Go for it.
and then you'll be right after. It's good. We're in demand. We got people waiting. Sure. Yeah, we'll see.
This is like a deli. We're taking numbers here. So now serving number 3.
All right.
Allison,
Hi, guys.
play with. Tell us who you're with.
My family seasoning.
And I'll give you a hug once we stand up.
Please.
Yes.
I need a hug really badly.
Yeah.
It's a long day.
So Allison, tell us. You're here.
I'm here.
You're exhibiting. You're not exhibiting.
No.
So tell us what. So I'm going to ask you the same question. It's a good question. I just asked
Okay.
Raja.
Uh-huh.
What are you looking to accomplish here?
I-
You're not exhibiting.
No,
So
I'm
what
not.
are you doing?
Yes, I am here to build relationships. So I'm a very relationship focused person. I love connecting people, businesses, their needs. I'm pretty new to this industry in the last several years. So it's really important for me to put a face to the name with people like yourselves that I interact with on LinkedIn. And so finally I get to see you wonderful faces in person, give you all a hug, because it's not about, I don't have a goal. It's not like, oh, hey, I'm going to get a contract or a big PO. That's not going to happen today. That's coming down the road. But, we all are here. We're all working in the industry. It's about connecting with one another. And it actually helps give me a lot of energy when I'm going back to Tampa, Florida, and I'm by myself working there. I don't have a big CPG community out there. And so for me, it's a great way to plug in and get re-energized and recharged.
Excellent. So this is your first expo?
No, I walked it last year.
You did.
Mhm.
So is there anything that you say or that you've seen so far from the scope of size and volume of people? How does this year compare to last year?
I think it's way more packed.
I think so too.
Yeah,
I
the
think so
Santa
too.
Ana winds are definitely bringing, gusting up the winds and bringing a lot of people here. Good energy. It's packed. A lot of stuff going on down in Hall E. That was insane down there. But it's exciting. It's good to see people that I met last year, a lot of familiar faces, and it's nice that people remember me, which is kind of cool,
Right.
So yeah, it's a good time.
Excellent.
Yeah, you're definitely right about that, Allison. And by the way, so I met your mom through LinkedIn,
Right. Yes.
and then we got connected. And then I know you're in Publix and a lot of stores out
Yes.
there, My Family Seasonings. But you're definitely right. I have a theory as to why I think it was so packed, especially yesterday and
Okay.
also today.
Mm-hmm.
People do not want to come here on Saturdays as much anymore.
Yeah.
So they're moving it up a day and saying, I'm going to do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday
Mm-hmm.
instead of Thursday, Friday. Like you're just burned out from all the prep and everything that you just want to relax on the weekend. So I feel that's happening. Plus, this is the third year in North Hall, and people are realizing how great North Hall is from the first 2 years. So they're coming in on Wednesday.
Yeah.
I don't know about you,
Mm-hmm.
but when I came in yesterday, the parking, I came in maybe an hour before the show opened, 30
Early
minutes.
bird. Wow.
It wasn't even, I thought it was early, but boy, was I freaking late. I was dealing with, because it opened at noon
Okay.
yesterday. So I'm dealing with the people going to Disneyland
Mm-hmm.
off the 5 freeway.
Oh yeah.
I'm dealing with the people that are coming here. The parking structure that I always go to, that I always rely on, was completely closed. I had to park a mile away at McDonald's.
Why didn't you just do the Angel Stadium for free and take the shuttle over?
I found out too late.
It's on the website, you know.
I don't do my research.
Okay, so real quick, I'm from here. I'm from Southern California. I grew up 15 minutes away. So my grandparents actually live 5 minutes down the road. So when I come here, you guys are going to be so jealous. I don't have to pay for hotels. I get to go stay at my childhood home with my dad. I get to see some family while I'm here, which is awesome. And, I had a buddy that hooked me up with a pass. So I'm only paying for my food and getting a lot of free drinks, which is kind of nice. And it's just a real fun experience for me to be able to get away from the kids and get out here.
What I was going to say, Allison, you've been listening to the show long enough. You know that we don't prepare for anything. This is no script, just chat. So do you think Alex is going to do any homework about where to park, or you're just going to wing it, right?
I mean, it took me 2 hours to get in, and as soon as I got in, like, I feel like I've been at the show the whole day, just
it's
getting
exhausting.
in. So when did you get in?
Okay, so I flew in yesterday, but of course, I wanted to go see my aunt. She did my hair for me, so that was really nice. And we had a real fun afternoon hanging out. I mean, she's just a character. So I finally made it over to meet up with Hank Watt, as y'all know, Nature's Wild Berry. So it was great to put a face to name with him. Got to meet his partner and met the founder of Toto. Sydney Webb's party last night was amazing. Awesome. I guess I went to this founder party upstairs. That was pretty cool too. So I just kind of did that yesterday, and then I got here early, and I've just been walking around and saying hi and making connections with people so far. So I'll be here.
That's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thanks for jumping on with us.
Yes.
Good to see you. Yeah, if you stick
Likewise.
around, we'll definitely give you a hug.
For sure. Did you guys want to grab David and bring him on?
Yeah, let's do David next. And then My Family Seasonings. Make sure to look it up online and then buy it in Publix.
Yes,
right?
We'd love that. MyFamilySeasonings.com. All natural, no fillers, no caking agents. It's just herbs and spices.
Love it. I got to try it too.
I brought some for you.
Awesome.
Okay. Right. Okay. See you guys in a little bit. Bye.
Yes, so we've got the famous man in the yellow tracksuit joining us, and while we're waiting for him to get on here, spent some time with him last night, and my friends at Jimbo's. I also spent some time with my friends at CA Fortune. So thanks for entertaining us last night. I really appreciate it. David Delcourt with. Introduce yourself. Not that you need to, but go ahead.
Grown As Foods and Seed Ranch Flavor Co. Am I close enough there? Can you guys hear me?
As close as you can get. You can literally be eating the mic like it's a mac and cheese.
Wade's wearing the same colors as me with his Charlie Brown shirt.
Exactly right.
I love that. I love that.
That's exactly right. I need to stand out and take the attention off my face. So, David, you're exhibiting this year, right?
No, just walking.
I'm sorry. I'm seeing exhibit on there. So you have different.
Well, he is the exhibit, the tracksuit.
There you go. So I'm asking everybody that's not exhibiting the same question. What are you looking to accomplish at Expo West this year?
So there's a couple of things. I think one is connecting with folks like you guys, other brands, collaborations. Our brokers are here, Space Station guys. And then, I love just connecting with people here. And I think that's a big part of my goal, is just to keep this community going.
Right.
And there's a couple of buyers, our existing buyers who are here, seeing them, continuing those conversations. But I think it's really about soaking in the community, and the fact that kind of 80,000, 100,000 people are all gathering for the same thing. And Expo West, baby.
Excellent. 80,000 of your closest friends.
All of them.
Yes, all of them. All of them. Excellent.
I got to say, there's one person that's competing with you on the kind of the tracksuit wear. You got to track this guy down, Adam Bremen, the founder of
the
of,
keto can do.
at Can Do. So he was kind of roaming the halls here, and I met with him earlier today. He has a pink with black stripe tracksuit, but more of a pajama one, like more very comfortable,
Nice.
high-end cloth. And I was jealous, and I'm like, man. And again, he's the founder and like just the visionary behind this keto bar. And I said, can I get one of those? And I was kidding around. He's like, yes, I'm going to send it to you. And he was serious. He's the kind of guy where it's Can Do, right? The name of the brand.
Can do.
So he's like, I can do that. I'm going to send you one. So next year, I'm going to look kind of like you and him.
Yes.
I guarantee it.
Bring it on. No, Adam Bremen is just a stand-up guy, and I really like his product. My kids like the mint one. It's the only one they'll eat.
I like the butter and salt personally. That's my favorite. I love that. That's just a unique flavor that you don't see in that category. I don't know that there's anything else like it.
Chocolate chip for me.
They're all good. But you know, and if you go back, whether you're listening, watching, whatever, you go back and Adam actually was a guest on one of our earlier episodes. Just an inspiring story and just a terrific human. So good stuff. So what do you got on the agenda, Dave? What are you up to the rest of the show? What are your plans? What's going on?
There's this yet another Hot Products third floor main building, a new section up there, so I'm gonna go check them out. My boy Kamal so we played rugby years ago in Boston, like in my 20s. We played semi-pro rugby together, and he has a hot sauce company, so I'm gonna go check them out, give a little love to those guys. Otherwise, there's the Alley Rally party, a little startup CPG love. I'm sure there's going to be a ton of great folks there. Maybe roll a few frames even. I don't know. You guys going to roll some frames?
Planning to go for about an hour or two. It's about all I can take after. I mean, I'm just honest. Like yesterday, everyone was going to happy hour parties. I was in my car alone eating dinner, and then I went home. That was me. I'm just like, dude, I'm done talking with people. I'm going home. But the Alley Rally is something that I feel is so important. Community. I don't even bowl when I go there, just talking with people in community. And we love to support startup CPG. So I'm going to do my best to get in there. Is it sold out, or is there still tickets?
I think it's sold out, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not positive. And I know I didn't get in time, but I'm planning on doing the Goodles event and Rodeo CPG. So I got to figure out the logistics, how to get to. I think I can walk to one. I got to Uber to another.
Alley Rally is right next to House of Blues in that same.
Gotcha.
So you're good on that one. You're good on that one.
I'm good there, but I don't have the pass to get in. So I don't know. We might have to pull some strings or something.
Just say you're Wade Yenny.
There you go. Wade Yenny, free agent. Yeah. So excellent. Well, David, appreciate you stopping by, brother. Appreciate your support. Good hanging with you last night. Hopefully get to hang a little bit again tonight. I'm sure, we'll see each other.
It's always a pleasure, gentlemen. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you, brother. All right, next up, we've got Allie Kane behind us with Haven's Kitchen. We're going to bring Allie on.
There she is. Okay. Come on down. You're the next contestant on the Aioli is Right. And we got Kenny back there. Have we met in person before? No. Well, good to meet you.
I feel like I got the short end of the stick here because he gets to hug everybody, he gets kisses, he gets all this stuff, and I'm over here in a corner with 15,000 open beverages for crying out loud. I got all the love over here, and it's in the middle seat. I got all the love. I was going to say, I think this was intentional. Alex set himself up there. Yeah, they're not easy to put on. Yeah. Alex is going to try and work some act. Yes, it has. Yes, it has. This is like a Rubik's Cube of headphones here.
Thank you.
Well, Allie's no secret to podcasting. She has her own podcast, which is called In the Sauce. And I know I've been on it and had a great time. How many episodes have you done of that show, by the way? Do you know?
228.
228. That's amazing. That's amazing. And you do a great job with that. I mean, it's one of the ones that you should absolutely be following if you're in CPG. Absolutely should. So many inspiring stories. So much. So Allie, you're here. You've got some exciting stuff happening with your brand and your product launch. Tell us about it.
Yes. Well, yeah. I mean, I just have to say, first of all, more people have come up to me at the booth because they love the podcast. I don't know if that's it's like crazy how helpful these things are. So I'm proud of all of us because I think we are really helping the community, and that makes me feel really good. Obviously, I'm also really psyched because we have this new product. It's shelf stable. I think that there are a lot of people that like our brand and like us and want to support us, but the fresh is hard to find. A little hard to find even once you're in a store that has it, and a little bit hard to know what exactly to do with it. This is a shelf-stable, super clean aioli made with aquafaba and sunflower oil, really bold flavors, easy squeezy. So it kind of has all of like the good stuff of the fresh without some of the challenges of the fresh. And there's just been overwhelming joy about it. It's amazing.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So shelf life. Talk about the difference between your perishable products, your refrigerated products, and the shelf stable products, like between shelf lives and was there anything from your refrigerated product line that you used to help you your experience with the shelf stable?
Totally. I actually had Adam Brown on my podcast to interview me about making the aioli, and he was like, "You sound kind of like you're a second-time founder in a way, but within the same company," which I think is, how you think about it. Like everything I learned about whether it's fewer ingredients, easier to find ingredients, one base formula with, additional ingredients to create the different flavors, how to message it, how to name them, where to sell them, all of it is really, it's based on the same idea. We make better for you, globally inspired, power condiments, basically, to give people sort of confidence when they're cooking. And now we are just making it even easier and giving them more confidence because they don't have to think, where am I going to be able to get this? Am I going to be able to get this? And what do I do with it? So I think we've learned a lot. This is a year shelf life ambient. The other one is 4 months refrigerated.
Very close.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we got these great mics where a lot of people don't know you literally can be eating the mic.
Amazing.
And
that's
it's
good for COVID.
Definitely. It's perfect. Perfect. A lot of sanitization.
So are gatherings of 80,000 people.
Yeah. It's kind of like all bets are off that something's probably going to happen.
Those, like mesh things at karaoke that you can you put your own little mesh thing on the mic.
I know, seriously. Again, we don't prepare for anything for this show. That's how we roll. Yeah, I mean, like coming from a founder, right? And I've been in it for 10 years. You've been in it for
a while.
Yeah, for a while. Which usually means at least 8 to 10 years. It seems like with this new line, do you want this to be your ultimate scale driver to say, I want to bring this brand to the next level and some more wider distribution, plus just easier places to slot it in and put it on the shelf in stores? That's what you're thinking.
Exactly right. I mean, we think of this as, first of all, Amazon. So we can actually do awareness marketing. We can actually give people a coupon code. We can send it to influencers and content creators, and there is a place to go to buy it, as opposed to a store locator. Type in my zip code. Maybe I have a store there, maybe I don't. And if I go to that store, they might not even have all the SKUs. So A, number one. B, we have a category in the supermarket. I mean, Wade knows, is it produce, the fresh? Is it dairy? Is it
deli?
In meat? Is it deli? Is it in the vegan, kimchi area? This is straight up in condiments. So we have resets, we have buyers, we can say who we're going to be next to, we can say whose share we're taking. It's just it is scalable. And I think it's also, from a consumer level, I know what to do with with an aioli or a mayo. I know that this is a flavor thing that I put on top of whatever it is that I'm eating. Even though we thought, the beauty of our fresh sauces is that you can use them the way that you want to. That isn't actually the way that the consumer thinks.
Right.
They want to be told what to do with the product. And if they decide to get creative, great. But this is just, I think, going to be a much more scalable product.
Excellent. So have your relationships with your your customers, your retailers
Yeah.
that you had the perishable product in? Has that made it easier this go round selling? Are you? I'm assuming you're using those relationships to help with the distribution or the to get it on the shelf.
Yeah.
But also I'm sure everyone's been turned down.
Yeah.
It's have you also been able to use that to come back and say, hey, now you didn't take the perishable, but
Yeah.
now I've got this. Can we talk? Is it a little bit easier this go round?
I mean, I think everything's easier after you've been doing it for a while, and I think the reality is you have to perform no matter what. So it's kind of like getting your foot in the door a little bit, building a relationship, maybe having a buyer that really, really likes us, make an introduction internally. But the category managers, they do what they're going to do. In one case, I mean, we didn't, our fresh didn't really thrive at Target, for all sorts of reasons, internal, external. But the condiments Target buyer, we had a very candid conversation. This didn't work great. Here's why. This we think is a really good fit. And she said it was like the favorite thing she's tasted in years. So we had a not great successful relationship that is now turning into a win. And similarly, we've had, kind of the other thing happen where the buyer just doesn't have the room at the moment, or they're not doing a reset, or that isn't their, priority for the category. But like you always say, it's not a no, it's a, later. We do have really good partners, like Whole Foods is an incredible partner of ours, that I think the fact that we do as well there as we do definitely got us to a special place. But again, you got to perform.
Exactly. So tell everyone where your booth number.
North Hall. We're in this hall. We're like 5 rows behind us. 1635.
1635.
Yes.
And correct me if I'm wrong, you have a little event coming up here. Tell us about it.
Yeah, in about an hour or so. I've lost all sense of
It's
time.
It's 3:30.
Yeah. Okay,
yes,
an hour. It's us and Vista Hermosa and Avec, and we have margaritas and chips and our jalapeno aioli, and it should be really fun.
Awesome.
So I don't know if you guys can come, but
I'm planning on it. Now are these non-alc margaritas? Or are they
no, they are fully alc margaritas.
I think I'm going to see you shortly, Allison.
4:30 at Expo West is like 9 p.m. in regular time.
Exactly. Yeah. Hence the word happy hour, right? It implies the alcohol. And one more time, the booth number for that happy hour.
N1635.
One thing I know we have people waiting, but I just want to make like a general comment that you are a warrior. You have so much grit. You're a caring person. You're a great mom, and you have the family life is amazing. But also, you can balance that so well. With also, balance is hard no matter what.
Yeah.
But you're doing that beautifully because we've talked one-on-one about this, about kids and raising and family. But also just an absolute warrior, with so much grit and never giving up. On the business side,
thank you.
I just want to really acknowledge you from one founder to another, acknowledge you for that because it's fucking hard. Launching a new line is hard. Reinventing yourself is hard. Scaling it to a whole new level. And you've really stood the test of time, plus grown a category. So you're amazing.
Thanks. Jeez. I'm going to come back to thank
You'll
you
be
so
floating.
Much. That was so nice. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Allison. We'll see you shortly. Thank you. We're trying to summon in Mr. Kenny.
You will come back.
We're trying to get Mr. Kenny Hausman in here with Fresh Time Market. Not that he needs an introduction. He's been making the rounds. He did a little podcast with Derek. Oh yeah, we're gonna get you in here in a second. Okay, sorry about that. So Kenny, we're gonna podcast. You did something with Derek and Annie, which was awesome. I got to jump in on that for a little bit, and then you also were a guest on Luke's podcast, which I got to listen to over the weekend. Learned a lot more about you, and not that I wasn't already inspired by you, but you did an awesome job on that podcast and very inspiring. So another plug for Luke and the Reconnected podcast, and Alex, I listened to yours too. Very good. So Kenny, what's up?
The show's going great. Thanks for having me on, fellas. I just wanted to stop in and say hello. I know there's a lot of brands that could probably use this space during this important time, but I appreciate you commenting on Luke's podcast. I mean, we all know Luke.
Yep.
He just has a way of connecting with folks and really connecting at that higher level. And it was just a lot of fun to do it, and just trying to give back to what I can for this wonderful industry that we're in, you know?
Awesome. So you're the first buyer we've had on here, category manager, whatever, however you want to phrase it. So give the people that are watching, tell us, the people that are watching, listening after the fact, what from your lens you've seen here that's kind of maybe not a specific brand, whether it's trends, what has spoke to you about what's going on at Expo West 2024?
Yeah, I mean, I think the last couple of years, and this is more of overarching weight, I just feel this emanating positivity coming out of this show, right? I mean, coming off the heels of COVID and everything we've been through together the last better part of 5 years, it really has helped us really reconnect as an industry. And that's just inspiring. I mean, being able to have that opportunity to connect with folks like you, connect with our brands at that level, face to face, it's just been just reinvigorating. But in trends, I mean, there's trends everywhere. We're talking about wellness from all levels, whether it's just physical wellness, emotional wellness, everything in regards to that. I mean, that's what we're seeing out there. I mean, quite honestly, I wish I could walk the floor a little bit more, but when I say reconnect, it's reconnecting, right? You're getting stopped every couple feet or so to talk to folks, but that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. And that's just what makes this industry so great, right? Sustainability, just really seeing that effort made to continue to build out sustainability, whether it's regenerative agriculture, those sort of things. It just feels authentic, intentional, and really, it's great to see that just continue to evolve.
Right.
I don't really have anything to say because I'm just in awe whenever I listen to this man. Like I learn a lot. He's so humble, so insightful. So how often are you traveling back to Hawaii? I know you love Hawaii.
I haven't made it back this year quite yet. Hawaii is near and dear to our heart, near and dear to our hearts. My partner, Kathy, and I, we haven't made it back yet, but we do plan on getting back there probably at least once a year just to reconnect with our family out there. And when I say family, I mean the people and friends that we made along the way. But, it's great to be back home on the mainland, back in the Midwest, back at Fresh Time Market. We got a pretty big contingent out here across our grocery team and as well as the natural living team, which I lead. So we're all out there. So please feel free to stop us and connect.
Excellent. So Kenny, what's on your agenda for the rest of the week? What do you got going on tonight, tomorrow, and when do you go back?
Man, I got to look at my phone. I don't even know. No, I'm just kidding. Wait. So got a lot going on. Going to, walking the show floor. I tend not to schedule a lot of meetings. We did have a meeting day yesterday. We really utilize those meetings to really connect with emerging brands. We have all these established relationships. It's not really for that. It's for emerging brands that are looking to try to potentially get into Fresh Time. But really, today, tomorrow, and even Saturday morning, we're just looking to walk the show floor in its totality. Again, reconnect with the industry, reconnect with our brands, and really scope out what's new. And what's interesting now is as we think about us as an organization and think about us as an industry, it's not just about brands. I've really challenged my team to really understand, what are you seeing? What are the macro trends? What's next for us as an organization? Our business is in a really good spot, which has allowed us the opportunity to build and innovate. So that's what we're really looking for.
Awesome. Kenny, I appreciate you, brother. I hope I get to hang out with you a little bit later tonight. I missed you last night, but hoping we can make that happen tonight.
We will wait for sure.
Awesome. Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.
Good to see you. We're going to bring Robert Kogan on next. So we got Robert coming up here next and working his way over here. He's helped us with
all right.
with his phone, and he's been a new fan of the podcast. So we would give him some time here and talk to him a little bit about who he is and what he does. So as Alex works his technical magic here, we're getting Robert squared away. Robert, good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you guys.
Welcome, and you got to get close to that microphone because it's not the highest quality. That's why we need sponsors. So, Robert, tell us a little bit about yourself. I just before you came on, I was talking a little bit about you as far as you've recently joined CPG Vibes. As far as you just discovered it over the last few weeks. So, tell us a little bit about Robert Kogan, who you are, what you do, and what you think.
What I think is that first of all, you guys are just a great little channel that actually spreads so much good intelligence to someone like me too. So I'm a great example. What I've been doing for the last 10, 11 years is serving the ultimate consumer. And that is really all that matters for us, because the consumers are the ones that drive our store managers to call their distributors and I have a very special role. I take care of the Canadian market. Toronto is the third largest city in North America. And when I was asked to get involved in a food product somewhere around 2012, 13, it was at a Niagara region. It was very specialized. Just because I have a footprint in Michigan and Toronto, it was organic. And I just started getting asked to bring in everything for the Toronto market. Now, the good thing about my experience is I'm very familiar with the high-end demands of the Toronto market. And what I learned really quickly, which I knew already, is nobody takes no for an answer. So when there's a product that has to be delivered and put on the shelves of Pusateri's, Summerhill Market, Vincenzo's in Waterloo, Nature's Emporium, Fresh One Market, it goes on and on and on, Fiesta Farms. These are, in some circles, world-class food purveyors that set trends in the third largest city in North America. So what I have to do is keep the smiley face on when I deal with the frustrations. And I got to try to dispel the myth, because the more people that see this and realize that we're going to bring your English-only label product into the independence of Toronto, Montreal, Vancouver with no health risks. And we got to get over the mythology that is out there with a lot of companies that are, creating a little too much barriers, a little too much concern. And what I do is I solve the problem, make sure the best brands get into the shelves and the coolers in Toronto and across Canada.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, a couple questions I have. What I'm most curious about, since I ran a US based brand for, and I would look at you, but then Mike can't pick it up, is the bilingual element to all this, right? You're an American brand, and then you are, American brand, and you're going into Canada. When's the right timing to go into Canada? That's my first question. Number two, do you consult on making a label bilingual, and how is that done? Because that's hard to have two languages on one label. So what's that process look like?
Well, first of all, with the first question, Alex, the consumers are the ones that drive the market. There are a lot of rules out there for mass retail. If you want to go into Loblaws, Metro, Sobeys, Save-On, Costco, Walmart, you're not going to get listed into a fully compliant labeling. However, the independent stores all over Toronto and Canada, they don't take no for an answer. And the consumers don't take no for an answer. So what we do is we bring in the English only. Now, if you are not requiring the NPN number, which is a natural product number for a healthy product that has functionality, that has ingredients that are not yet, like L-theanine, needs an NPN. But in 6 months, 8 months, maybe 12, it'll be accepted by Health Canada.
What does NPN stand for?
Natural product number.
Okay, and tell us more about that.
It goes outside of the Food Inspection Agency and goes over to Health Canada. So when there is a functionality included in the ingredients, an NPN number is what's required. And then it takes about 3-4 months to turn around. And what it does is it puts it under the authority of Health Canada, because the vitamins, the collagen, all of the different functionalities, the mushroom extracts are all under Health Canada as a functional product. So whether it's a vitamin or a beverage with functionality, it's got to get an NPN number. But most importantly is the market is driven by our customers, whose customers drive their market. So when they want a product, it either comes in officially through my license, and it might not be bilingual, but it's okay. You can get exemptions for non-bilingual products for up to a year, 2 years, to do the logical thing, which is test the market. Now, the roadblock comes when you have functionality. But the reality is that the functional products are imported by people like me, and we assess the health risk. If we're a responsible SFC license holder, that stands for Safe Food for Canadian, it's the import license, we see all the brands are in the independents, so we step in and we streamline it. We get the prices down, we get rid of the 3 extra middlemen that are involved in bringing it in, and we try to smooth out the process so the customers in Toronto, Montreal, Vancouver, and everywhere else can have the same access as our US friends.
Excellent, excellent. So I know we've got someone else waiting here too, but I got two more things for you. One, you had a drink, and I thought I had it over here, but it disappeared or something. I was going to ask you to talk a little bit about that because I know you're passionate about it. And then two, before we let you go, I want to ask you about how does if we have a brand or someone here that's interested in doing business, some of the things you talked about, obviously your wealth of knowledge in that market, how do they contact you? What's the best way to get a hold of you?
PFE, that stands for Powerful Energy, pfedistribution.com. And I am easily findable with my direct number on most social media platforms.
Well, and I happen to know someone, that'd be the guy wearing the yellow shirt here, that also knows how to get a hold of Robert. So if you're hearing this podcast now or later and you need a connection to Robert, reach out to me. I'll help you out. So, but tell us about this product before we let you go.
Melting Forest. Melting Forest fits the mold of the market needs. Right now, there's a huge trend going on with adaptogenic and nootropic ingredients. As we all know, it's in RTDs, it's in powders, it's in teas, it's in pretty much everything now. So what we do is we introduce this to the market on a soft basis. We get it into some stores under a special preview program. And then what we do is we test out the market. Once we have conviction that it will work, and we tried a lot of products, and some of them, they don't always work. If they work in the US, Canada is a little different. There's the tastes are a little different. It's about a 90% overlap, but there's certain things that work and don't work. With Melting Forest, they've checked off all the boxes. They're great people, and without great people and patience and camaraderie and solidarity, it can't work. But with Melting Forest, I've known them for a few years. They have a long history in the CBD functional market as CBD living, and we have gotten an incredible reaction. And I can't do this without mentioning Eco Ideas. Eco Ideas is our partner in Canada. They are a distributor, they are regulatory compliance, they are 3PL, and they do all of the compliance work, distribution work, regulatory. So basically like a ball player that can steal, hit, field, and pitch.
Love it. Love it. So you're going to leave those with us so we can try, right?
More than that.
All right. Excellent. Excellent. Well, we appreciate you, Robert. Thanks for jumping on.
Thanks for having me, guys.
You bet.
Thank
Thanks for
you
your
for
support.
the things you guys do.
Thank you.
Yeah. Great meeting you, Robert.
Dave, you want to jump on?
And, so we're gonna keep his phone here, right? We're gonna be monitoring the LinkedIn activity. Robert's leaving. Okay, 3, 2, 3, 4 cans. We have enough to get our mushroom on for the next month.
Yes.
So we're good.
Yeah. So we have David with iLevel joining us, and we're going to get him hooked up here. David Abrahams, once again. We wouldn't be doing this today if it wasn't for David and the folks at iLevel. So, David, thank you. And welcome to the show. Tell us a little bit about iLevel.
So I think the main thing about iLevel is
Speak right into the mic.
Oh, okay,
really
sorry.
close.
Is probably our transparency. We have a software called Turnpike that allows our brands to see all cases sold into stores, their sales reporting. So, the unique thing about us is we can hide in earning our keep. And it allows us to collaborate with our brands because we can see voids, we can see when things are trending the wrong direction, and then, adjust our efforts to try to fix things. So we're different in that I say we're the broker that focuses on dolphins. We're the smallest and newest national broker. We don't want anything to do with whales. So, a brand that we work well with is a brand somewhere between 5 and 30 million in revenue.
Gotcha. And by the way, just a reminder, we're at booth 2223, which is the iLevel Brands booth. And then David Abrahams, he is the CEO and founder. I remember when I met you, it was 6.5 years ago.
Yeah, the NCN circuit.
It was the NCN. So shout out to NCN Capital. So I was there with good old Jim Tonkin. I call him the Tonkinator. The guy is, I think, in his 70s now, and he just loves what he does. I think he's retired at this point. But he was the chairman of our board, and then he invited me to a dinner, and you were at the dinner. And I found out about you, about your brokerage. what I love is that you are there's these small brokers
Yeah.
that kind of rinky dink. They don't really have a lot of connections. Then there's the really large ones, which are very expensive, not flexible. You have to do national contracts that cost gobs of money. I feel you're in that sweet spot, like you said, that 5 to 20 million. So tell us, was that an evolution of getting there, or when you created your company, did you always want to be in that kind of middle area?
A lot of things with eye level were okay. I'm gonna go get the business, and then figure out how to do it after I got it, like laying the train tracks right before the train got there. So some of it was just it just happened. But as you well know, most of the employees of brokerages mean well. They're not going out there not trying to do their job, but when they have hundreds of brands to deal with, they can't. And our bigger brokers need hundreds of brands to pay hundreds of employees. They're built for whales. So I went after the middle market because there's opportunity there, and said, I can do a better job for a dolphin. I don't want to represent any of those guys with a 40 by 40 booths downstairs. It's not us. We're better up here. So um, if I can convince a client that the number of bodies who work for a brokerage firm doesn't equal sales, it's the effort of your broker and the focus on growing your business and transparency, and they believe that, then we win. And so, like you said, Alex, if they outgrow the really small guys or the regional brokers, or the big guys just don't care, to me, commission on $10 million of sales is heck awesome.
Yeah.
And we do what we can to get them from 5 to 20. When they get to 20, we might have a problem, but so be it.
Yeah, that's a good problem to have. And then I like case studies, and we didn't prepare you for any of these questions because it's no script, just chat with all this stuff that we do. We just figured this out last night at midnight on how to hook all these cables up to make sure the audio is coming through clear. Hopefully it sounds really good. And by the way, I'm drinking Raja. Someone asked me. That was Dima. So case studies with brands that you've worked with. Tell us a few that really stood out. I know you love all the brands you work with, or you wouldn't bring them on, right? You love working with them. But which are the ones, like what are some case studies that stand out that you got them from A to B?
So what fits kind of our mold is people will know brands like Safe Catch, Purely Elizabeth, Vegan Robs, Brew Dr. Kombucha. And, if you asked Elizabeth Stein, she would say, we needed you guys to a certain point, and we wouldn't be here without you. And I think it's just being a true partner. What I think most brands don't understand, it's going to take 2+ years to really get north of $1 million. That's a fact. Vegan Robs did it in 14 months because they were just a great product. And it's always all about the product. So, I could say, well, I know Wade, so he's going to do me a favor. Forget about it. He ain't doing me any favors. Doesn't matter what broker presents a product to a buyer. They shouldn't really care. Consumers don't know about brokers or buyers. They don't even know that the OIs are paid by the manufacturers. So it's always all about the brand. So the case study is pick a brand that you feel in your gut has a chance of success. And we have a bunch of them right now. I don't want to talk about anyone in general because my other brands will say, why the heck didn't you talk about them on the show? But it's always about the product. It's not the broker. If somebody says, well, I have a great connection somewhere, maybe, yeah, but it's not going to equate to success.
Definitely. And speaking of success, what do you look for? Like when you're sitting down with a founder for the first time, having, those introductory meetings and there's some smiles and all these things, what do you look for, in an entire package when you're sitting down with a founder or a management team for the first time?
So I do the same thing that a buyer would. I'm looking at the category. I look at the set, and I think, is a buyer going to give a shit? I mean, it's that simple. Do we think that this will work? And, I would argue that, I have as good a sort of sniffer, if you will, as Wade does. So I have to be able to get in his head when I look at the products and say, this buyer is going to like it. And I think one of the best things that you can do is when you blend the familiar with the unique. So you take a little bit of a tired category that's a little bit boring and then tweak it some, that works. If you come out with something completely new that nobody understands, that doesn't have a home in a category, where you're trying to create a category, that's really, really hard. And the last thing is if a brand says, well, I can't afford a retainer. I know brands hate broker retainers, but we can't work for free. And if they say, well, $2,000, extra per month is something I can't afford, then I'm going, dude, go to Vegas, take Uncle Lou's money on a binge weekend. You have better chance of being successful there than getting into what you're going to have to cough up with our good friends at Unify and K-Heat. I know you love them. That's the way it goes. So if you don't have enough money, it's all about, you got to have money. This industry is kind of like Formula One, you need millions, or NFL. People don't understand that. The Shark Tank thing, if I just work hard enough, I'm going to make it. No. We had 5 brands on Shark Tank. None of them got a deal. And for the most part, I'm really glad that happened because they've been successful without it. Great marketing, didn't have to deal with the shark.
That's some great feedback for brands, for the people listening. So, David, before you go, I wanted you to tell everyone what's the best way to contact you to talk, or your team to talk about iLevel or open up the conversation dialogue.
So just email me, David at ilevelbrands.com.
And that's the letter I, level, ILEVEL.com.
No, brands, ILEVLBRANDS.com. Friend of mine, I was going to do it like iLevel, like EYE, which is kind of boring. And he said, you should do it like Apple, do it with the I. I'm like, John, that's a great idea. And so that's how the brand name came about. But yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for jumping on. Thanks again for the space. It's awesome. We appreciate you. And I think we got maybe one more person. I got to look back here, but thanks, David.
Yeah. Thank you so much, David. Thanks for sponsoring us. Okay. And I was kind of fiddling with the phone because there's people that are trying to find us. And one guy found us. This is Sean Berg of SMB Sales.
$2,000 check.
And we're going to give you the headphones here. So, Sean, one big thing we're telling everyone, make sure to speak as close as I am into the mic. And you can also, if you want to, so you're not bending too far forward. Your back's kind of sensitive right after 40, right? I'm 40 and weight's 32, right? Plus something. And you're
32 plus something.
Plus something. Plus.
Yep. Younger than Wade, I believe.
Yeah. So, yeah, man, it's really cool because, one of my clients, Spritzel Cookies, which is a fantastic product, you retain them.
Yep.
And they're now kind of just blasting into the Southeast. Everyone knows you. You're active. You have a lot of engagement on podcasts and other things. But tell us about you. And then you live in Florida.
Yep. Northern Florida.
So did you grow up there?
I grew up in northern Minnesota, actually.
In Minnesota. Okay, yes. That's right. Because I remember you were talking about, we're talking about Target. What brought you out to Florida? And I'm assuming because you're in Florida, Publix is kind of your thing, right?
So I got to Florida, the long, strange trip. Super Value stole me from college, going to school in Minnesota, and they brought me to the East and kind of been up and down the coast a little bit. I worked for Presence Marketing 8 years, and being the shit that I think people know me to be at these points, I had made up my mind I wanted to move to Florida someday, so I let them know. And they called me out on it. They said, okay, we need somebody in Florida. And then I said, well, I'm not ready. My son was still in high school. It's like, yeah, I wanted this. I don't want it now, but I ended up taking it. And I became their Publix guy, and I hit it at the right time when Publix was really interested in natural organic, and it helped build my house.
Excellent.
So I call it the house that Publix built.
Excellent. So Sean, this is you've been on your own now with SMB. sales and marketing for, is it 2 years now?
Just about two.
Just excuse me, just about 2 years. So this is your second expo as SMB sales
that's
marketing.
right.
So what has your approach been? Because I know you're here along with your wife and your son.
Yep.
What has your approach been this year, and how is it different than what it was last year?
So this year we have 18 brands in attendance. So it's really making sure that we can service our brands. We're not expected to help build the booths or that sort of thing, but just to be here to talk about any customers that have come through, the usual broker speak. Somebody wants to see in person to talk about whatever review came up. Just, giving them all the time that they need, talking to them. A lot of times they're my friends. I'm not looking to gain business here. I'm always hoping to gain business, but it isn't I need to walk up and down the aisles and hope somebody wants to retain me. I'm not handing out cards and saying, please. And I've done that. I did that last year. I did that at the Fancy Food Show, and it's pretty liberating. I work from home. This is going and hanging out with my friends.
Yeah. It's cool too that we have the rotating mic over here, because whenever
nice.
Sean, he sees us rotating, he's like, okay, one of them's going to talk. It's like a cue. I love that, brother, because you've worked your ass off. You're, from what I've seen, one of the hardest working people in general in this industry. And I can tell, you're there for your clients, you're on it, and you really have a passion for helping brands get into these retailers. But I love that you're at the stage in your career where you've worked so hard the last 2 years that now you're like, okay, everyone knows me. I'm not trying to talk to every person. You're not being frantic about it. And the right people are coming to you, and you're attracting them into your life and into your business. Feels good to be at that place where word gets around. They know you do a great job taking care of people, and they're finding you through word of mouth, referrals, and obviously on CPG Vibes, they see
Yep.
you.
Absolutely. That's why I like engaging with CPG Vibes and the show and everybody. And as we were talking about the other day, sometimes I'm the little kid in the back throwing out smart ass comments and, going back and forth with Gavin more often than not.
Everybody does that, though. You're not unique in that regard, Sean.
Talking about the time I chased him down at Expo and he was going to the bathroom and I didn't follow him, and I didn't see him again either. So.
Excellent. So, Sean, when are you headed back to Florida? Saturday or Friday?
So we're actually sticking around. We're going to go to the beach this weekend.
Nice, good for you.
Go to Santa Monica Pier or something.
Right.
Just sleep in.
Excellent.
Hit some stores.
Cool. So, Sean, what's the best way for someone if they want to reach out to you to talk Publix or other business? How do they get a hold of Sean Berg?
You can email me at sean@smbsalesandmarketing.com. I know it's long. My wife tells me I should have had a shorter one.
Just message on LinkedIn.
Or you can give me a call. Give me a text. 315-657-8861.
Oh, wow. That's a first. That's a first on here.
That is a first. Say that one more time.
In sales. 315-657-8861.
You're like Mark Cuban over here, where Mark Cuban gives out his cell phone, even though it's one of his numbers, not his personal, but it does go to him.
Just tell me who you are and be patient. If you text me and I haven't gotten back to you in a week, that doesn't mean I haven't seen it. Doesn't mean I'm not already looking into it. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm in the opportune spot where I have more people reach out to me than I can ever handle. I want to have a nice book of business, in which case I can.
I'm just giving you a fist bump.
Oh, okay. I thought you were giving me the thumb sign. I'm in a good space where I want to have a few brands that'll pay my bills, and I want to have a few brands where I can maybe grow them and help them out. Some of the business is, hey, we're a big brand. We think you'd be better than something else. We want you to help us. And some are like, man, we just need somebody. Can you be somebody?
Yeah.
I can be that somebody.
Excellent. Well, Sean, thanks for jumping on. Appreciate you. Have a good rest of the show. Appreciate your support.
Thank you, guys.
Good seeing you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure.
Take care.
All right. Good seeing you, Sean. So SMB sales. So we have someone that's going to be on Shark Tank on Friday. This guy over here, I texted him saying, get your ass over here. He ran over here across the courtyard. He has a beanie on. I think he has his workout gear on. We have Maurizio Rasti. He is with Nowhere Bakery. Come on in. Thanks for making it. He has his liquid death. You have product on you? Please say you do.
I have product very close.
Okay,
I have
close.
product very close.
Where's your booth at? Are you walking?
Maybe 45 steps this way.
Oh, your booth's here.
Yeah.
Oh no shit. Okay,
Yeah.
we're gonna go there for sure. So here's the headphones, so you can hear us. See, Wade's going back here. I think there we go. Some logistical stuff. It's amazing that. Watch your what? There. Oop, good. Masterfully stepped over all those cans. We have like Riot, Mela, Raja, Lemon Perfect, Danos, Melting Forest, Liquid Death. All right, so we got some big things to talk about. You're gonna be our last guest. I just squeezed you in.
I appreciate that.
We're gonna go a little bit overtime here. Have you met Adizio before?
I have not. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
How are you?
Really well.
Good.
It's a little backstory. They have a production facility which is in Southern California. I met Rizio and his wonderful wife at as a backpack brand at the Startup CPG Alley Rally last year. Yeah, it was last year. They have the most delicious brownies, cookies, cookie dough thing. Like they're just delicious, scrumptious, healthy. I go straight to his facility to buy them. I get them wholesale, and that's a special deal that we have because I live so close. And it's addictive, but it's a good addiction because they're healthy and they're delicious and they're filling. But I have them in the middle of the night. I cannot stop eating these things, and you got to try them. They're so good. They're refrigerated, which I also love, so it's high end. And also, we're going to announce it here. I mean, you already announced it, right? You're going to be on Shark Tank tomorrow.
Tomorrow night.
So tell us about. You can start wherever you want, man. The floor is yours.
Well, thank you, Alex. That was a really generous introduction, and I have and do look up to you, and I think what you've done with Genius is epic, and I think you should know that anytime I bring your name up to my wife, the response, I'm always like, hey, by the way, Alex, she goes, Genius? So you got to love that. And that's now what you're known and how you're referenced in the house. So respect to you and everything that you've done thus far, and you're still peaking, so much more room for you to grow, and I know you will, and so I'll enjoy watching that run. Wade, nice meeting you as well. Thanks for having me. What an amazing setup you guys have here. This is awesome. This is beyond. Look, we started this company with a mission to change the way you view desserts. So my wife and I have one very similar. We both have the most insane sweet tooth, so we share that similarity. And I gravitate towards things that taste and are Snickers, Twix, Ho-Hos, all the things that I had in high school. I still have that palate because I can eat a shoe and I'm okay. My wife, she's allergic to people's footsteps and the sound of the light switching on and everything else in between. So we wanted to marry these two worlds where a dessert that wasn't a byproduct of unhealthy or thought of as this is the worst thing that you can consume, so let's just have it once a week, and marry that with something that tastes delicious. So can we build a clean cookie that also delivered on taste and brought that decadence that's what you want in dessert? And that product was nowhere. So after a year of working on that and finding the right mix of those two worlds, we called it Nowhere when we landed on it. And now 4 years later, we're in over 85 stores. We ship directly to every consumer in America from Hawaii to New York. And we're growing. We'll be on Shark Tank tonight,
right,
or tomorrow night.
So Alex mentioned refrigerated product. Is it shipped refrigerated or is it frozen and slacked? How does that look?
Yeah, I mean, this is a business podcast, right? So I think people know it's the cold chain logistics of it have been a nightmare, to say it very bluntly. And it's also very expensive on our end, but we ship with ice packs. And so, look, you can keep our product ambient and it's fine for about a week. And because it's plant-based, it's never going to harm you. But the nuances of the flavor and the complexities just kind of start to eat itself and lose its way a little bit. When you keep it refrigerated, you can buy from us. It'll come likely either cold or just slightly room temp. You pop that thing in the fridge. It's good for 30 days.
Nice. So the stores that you're in, because this is an interesting category, because obviously I bring the retailer perspective to it. So I know there's frozen bread sets, their shelf stable bread sets. I don't know that I've seen a refrigerated bread. So where are the stores that you're in currently? Where are they merchandising the product, and what's better yet, I guess, what is adjacent to it?
Yes.
What do you merchandise with?
This is always the hardest question to answer as well, because there's no direct label on it, but it is it's in the refrigerator grab and goes next to the Honey Mamas, next to the Perfect Bars, next to the Glow Nuts and things like that. So it's kind of a new category all in itself. It used to just be the horseshoe of a grocery store, but that refrigerated section is really expanding, and I think people are looking for innovative foods in those specific refrigerators. That's
Yep.
where we live.
One thing I wanted to point out, that's why I was like, just itching to like get on the mic as Wade saw. He said 85 stores, not 850, not 8,500. A lot of people come on the show in general, which is fine. Not judging. They're like, oh, we're 3,000 stores. Like they're tossing around like it's candy. He has a model, which I deeply respect, which is hyper local, building local relationships, walking in, shaking hands with the owner. The velocity is fucking unreal with this product. And that's something that, and all the brands I've talked to, consulted, whether it's regular consulting, crowdfunding, I've never seen velocity like this, which for an investor, right, or for someone that wants to be part of this brand is so impressive. And it comes back to the packaging, which is unique, the name, the packaging, the team, and the product, where once you have the product, you're basically hooked for life, and I was so impressed by it that I bought 30. I don't do stuff like this. I buy maybe 2, 4. I bought 30 from you guys. And I came home and my wife's like, where the hell are we going to put this? I had to fill up our produce area with your cookies and brownies. So I just want to point that out for founders out there that are building a brand, that he's hyper local, and we won't say what the revenue is, but it's higher than you expect because they do so well in each and every store, and then eventually you scale, but you're taking your time and doing it the right way. So I just want to acknowledge you for that.
Thank you, Alex.
Well, and I was going to say, we're not going to ask him about the revenue, but I'm pretty sure the Sharks are going to tomorrow night. So, yeah. So if you want to hear more about that, tune in tomorrow. But we talk about this a lot, and literally every post I make on LinkedIn, I use the hashtag crawl, walk, run. And if there's anybody that's doing that with that mentality, obviously you are, to be in 85, as Alex said, to be hyper-focused, grow it, and then look at strategically building it. And we talk about that all the time. So kudos to you and for that mentality.
Thank you, Wade.
Let's talk about Shark Tank. We're going to have you on probably double or triple the time on everyone else because one, I love you, love your product. And how's your baby doing?
He's so good.
Yeah, what's his name again?
Teo.
Teo. It's a beautiful name.
People have been coming up and asking, is he here? And I said, God, I only wish.
He's breastfeeding right somewhere. Yeah. So how old is he?
He is 9 months.
9 months. Wow. Time just flies. I remember I was talking with you when you guys were pregnant.
That's right.
9 months later. Are you getting sleep?
Not last night.
Right.
Last night was rough. He's got some kind of tummy issue.
Yeah. Are you guys staying in a hotel, or you're just going from home, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're close.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on that. I know it's the best thing ever to be a parent. It's not easy, right? With the sleepless nights and also running a business, but you're doing it beautifully and masterfully.
Thank you,
and I know you just love what you do and love taking care of your family. So let's talk about Shark Tank.
Yes.
You're airing tomorrow. This is great timing. Friday, March 15th, 8 p.m.
8 p.m. season finale. And Alex, we close the show out as well.
And you close. Wow. I'm jealous. I was first up, when I won.
I think you only want to be first or last.
First or last. Yeah, last, though, the fact that it's the final season, the final episode of the season, people are going to be watching it all the way through, and the viewership will be probably in the 6-7 million range. When we went on, we were in the 3 million range.
Still huge.
That's when it was on Sunday. So now it's on Fridays, right? Swimming with the Sharks. And I think the viewership is higher on Fridays, right? So what can you tell us about it?
So I'm actually excited to talk to you about this because there's a word I like to use, and it's called perspective. Hi. We have a very nice looking gal right here. It's perspective. And we watch the show. We're fans, right? And we watch it saying, well, why did you say that? That's what, like, gather your thoughts, be cool, this blah, blah, blah. Now I'm on it, and I can tell you they are 1,000 yards away. They are dimly lit. I did not hear one word they said. I'm sure went blank at some point, and I have a lot of perspective now and a lot of respect now for people like you and people who've been on that show and have really mastered it. And you watch these reruns and you're like,
Yeah.
Alex was cool.
I
He
got
did it right.
I mean, totally. I will not argue with that statement. Stroking my ego, I'm lifting by the minute here. My whole body is hovering. One thing that I will say, though, is that in my season, it was pre-COVID. It was the last season before COVID hit. It was 2019. It aired in January 2020, a month before the month and a half where the shutdown happened. All the sharks were right there. They were closer. They were probably from here to where this booth is right behind us. This is a Netto booth. You see right behind, it wasn't that far.
No.
And they were all together, so I could hear, and there wasn't this crosstalk going on. When they crosstalked, I could hear every word that each person was saying. Then when COVID hit, they moved them all back for the social distancing, and then now they're a semicircle around you, like they're hovering around you like sharks, right? So I've heard that from others where it's harder to hear them when they're arguing over each other. You can't hear anything, and then they're more dimly lit. So you had it. There we go. Bar.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
So like you had it harder than we did for sure.
Yeah, and you know this, Alex, because all along the way they give you a little bit of a teaser, knowing that you may not eat. And they say, hey, we think you'd be great for the show, but we don't know if you're going to be on the show. And then say, hey, you're on the show, but you're not really on. And then they say, hey, come on the set. We're going to film, but you're not going to film. And they say, hey, you're up next, but just know you still may not. And then, hey, we got your episode in the can. It's great, but you may not air. And so you have this kind of this idea of when can I settle into myself? When can I actually prepare for this? Because I don't want to have these highs and lows. Just like in our business, you look for outlets that you can just have a relaxed state of mind, because our business is just up and down, right? You're dealing with life, you're dealing with managing people, you're dealing with managing stores and everything else in between. So it's like we were looking for that one piece, and we never got it with Shark. So I'm just excited. I'm just as excited to watch it as you guys are.
Excellent. So, and we're going to do a Shark Tank episode coming up in I don't know, weeks, months, whatever it is, but it's coming. But Mauricio, without I know you can't talk openly about what happened on the show or what, but if you could give one piece of advice from someone that's now been on the show, and obviously the results. Well, the rest of us will find out tomorrow when the episode airs, but if you could give one piece of advice from your experience for someone that's potentially interested in being on the show, what would that be?
Just know that you're gonna be far away from them. Know that it's gonna be dark. Know that the questions are coming. Know that it isn't gonna be easy. Know that you will have recited the things that you're gonna say over and over again. The questions that they may ask over and over again. How to answer them. How to be present. How to be all that. They will find questions that you didn't prepare for. Just know that it's coming. So just try to enjoy it.
Yeah, it's about, like you said, enjoying it. Very well said. Being loose, not being too nervous, which is easier said than done. And I really treated it as like an investor presentation, sitting down at a table. And I think, I don't know if you experienced this, but the first like 5, and by the way, you're up there for over an hour, and they cut it down to like 10 minutes. The first like 3-4 minutes, it's kind of weird. You're like trying to get used to it. It's a little surreal. But as you get into the numbers and the conversation, you kind of just slide into it, and it becomes a normal conversation. And I think, did you feel that way, or what was your experience?
You forget where you are. You forget about
that
the
it's filming.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's weird too. I will say this, because we already aired right on 2020. That the way they do it is when you go through those famous doors, the 2 doors, right? There's the first door, then there's a hallway, right, where you see the screens of the flat screens of the sharks, and then there's the main door that opens, and you're on the rug. You walk out, but there's no music. At least when we did it,
Yep.
There was no music.
Yep.
The producer says, walk out like the music's playing, like dun 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 dun, dun, dun. And then so you have to play that in your mind like you're actually walking to the music. And then when you get to the carpet, you're like ready to pitch. And they say, wait a minute, okay, you're on the carpet now. And the producer says, stop, stand there for 5 minutes. We're going to reposition all the cameras, reposition everything, and adjust it. And then you can go into the pitch. And oh, by the way, don't talk with the sharks when you're on the rug, waiting for 5 minutes for them to move all the cameras in place. You don't have to say what you went through, right? Because it hasn't aired yet. But that's what we went through. And I can tell you, we had, wigs on and all this stuff and glasses. And we were standing there, me and 3 other people in the background, and we couldn't say a damn word to them. They even said, do not even call attention to them. Don't wink at them. Don't smile at them. So I was like this, and they're all looking at me and they were making fun of us. So interesting experience. One last question, because I don't want you to answer anything because, on the show, because we're going to find out tomorrow night at 8 p.m., Friday, March 15th on ABC. Last brand to go up on the final episode of season 15? 15. March 15th, season 15. I mean, it's meant to be. Preparation, right? And we have to wrap this up soon, but preparation on fulfilling these orders. Big deep breath right there.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going through to handle this? Because it's a delicious product, and I feel like it's going to be huge, the online orders.
Thanks, Alex. As you mentioned, we are handmade. We bake from scratch every single day. It's a very laborious task that we've taken on. We enjoy it. You can taste the nuances. That's why the cookie is what it is. The only thing we have and could do is buy a ton of ingredients. So we are next to a church. They have very graciously allowed me to rent storage in that church. I have multiple freezers now in that church, including a lot of dry goods. So we prepared ourselves. Fingers crossed we were able to use it. It's a success, and we're under a lot of stress, and it's fun.
Awesome. So, Mauricio, thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it. I'd say good luck, but it's kind of I'm wishing you good luck and very excited to see the episode, and I'm sure those that are listening, watching are excited too. So good luck to you. Yes.
Appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you, boys.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you, brother.
All right. So that's Mauricio Rasti. You can go to just Google Nowhere Bakery. You can find it. Shark Tank tomorrow night. All right.
We can go back to this.
I can do this. Okay,
yeah, I was
great.
gonna say, now we can wrap this thing up.
Yeah, we can wrap it up. All right. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was. And we went a little bit over, and that's okay.
420.
That's okay.
Which is a good number to go over, too.
It is.
So, this is broadcasted live at Expo West 2024. We're definitely going to be doing this each and every year, as far as we know.
We'll
keep going, and I'm sure we'll be upgrading each and every time. Last year, you were making pina coladas and, juggling things, and I was holding a laptop to a more professional setup. So I think I would say this was a swimming success.
Yeah. We're going to have to let the audience tell us that.
Yeah.
But I do have to shout out Stephanie Huey, because I see her on there, and we haven't been able to keep up the comments. So apologize for that. But it's we're although we are advanced, we're a little still technologically challenged that we can't do what we normally do. So look forward to doing what we normally do next Friday at 2:30 p.m. 5:30 p.m. Eastern, live on LinkedIn, and we'll get that event posted and out there for everybody to join. If you haven't done so already, please give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Doesn't cost anything. It helps us out quite a bit. And I want to again mention Luke Abbott and V-Driven, our ongoing sponsor. And then as well as David Abrahams and iLevel for letting us use this booth. And we've already gone over past our time. We've inconvenienced them. So we better kick it in gear and get out of here before we overstay our welcome.
Yeah, before he kicks us out, which he would never do. He's too cool for that. So, you said everything great. Thank you again, everyone. We'll see you next Friday at 2:30, 5:30 Eastern. Take care, everyone. Live from Expo West 2024. Enjoy the rest of the show.